What's up, everybody? It's Angel the Dawn / Riku Keyblade Master back once again. And there are some things we definitely do not need. We don't need our abortion rights stripped. We don't need our freedom of speech practically being chipped away bit by bit. And we don't need government overreach. We need to set things back to the way they were. I feel like all of this government overreach is really pushing a lot of people away. Really pushing a lot of people out of wanting to do what they have decided to do. I mean, a lot of us are just having fun, but they think that we need government overreach, and I don't see the point in government overreach. I understand some protections, but not to the point where too much power is too much. I mean, everything's all corrupted now. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of our freedom of speech getting stifled. I'm tired of everyone just stifling our creativity in general. We need to push back against these things. And if we don't, we're going to wind up with a really bad, overly controlling issue that, honestly, we already have a really bad, overly controlling issue that needs to be fixed. But if we don't fight, we are never going to get it fixed. If we don't fight, we're never going to get it fixed. And if we want to pull our freedoms back together again, we need to band together, because if we don't, then we won't be allowed to make decisions for ourselves as women. We won't be allowed to do anything, really. Our freedom of speech will be stifled for good. Our right to bear arms will be destroyed. Everything will be destroyed as we know it. It's being chipped away at little by little. And we need to hit the reset button. Because if we don't hit the reset button, who knows what else could be infringed upon? Who knows what else could be taken away from us? I know that too many people have had so many issues with so many major things. In fact, they've actually come to me about multiple problems, and they can't figure out why this is all happening. They need to understand that, I hate to say it, but they need to get that they can't stop everything. It's all just a part of life, including everything else that they tried to stop in the past. And if I couldn't get anything stopped or protected, then why should they have control? I don't know why we as content creators and anyone else that is just having fun, we keep getting stifled, and it's not cool. It's not right. They should value us rather than restrict us. We need to be valued, not harmed. The issue with so many things that have happened is that's like telling a bird not to fly. That's like telling a butterfly you can't show your colors. That's like telling basically any creature that they can't be themselves. They have to understand that. Instead of stifling us, they need to be more supportive of us. And I can't help but feel this way as a person who is constantly attacked for being who she is. I've been personally attacked ever since I was born. Hell, even before I was born, the doctors didn't even want me to exist. So, if that's not enough of a reason to fight for these sorts of protections, I don't know what is. I was put here to show people that they don't have to be afraid of who they are. They don't have to be scared of that. But yet, here we are. People are being scared of who they are because of severe government outreach and all of these severe blockades on us, which I don't think is fair. They're all just making up the rules as they go along. Too much power is very corruptive. And we've seen that time and again. I can't help but feel like a lot of us, especially those of us in the disabled community, are being stifled and feeling like we're being attacked and silenced just because of who we are. And I was not put on this earth to let people do us bogus like that. I was put on this earth to show people that just because you're disabled or different doesn't mean that they can straight up just shove you aside and push you around. Doesn't mean you should have to be afraid of being who you are. But people are just pushing us around just to push us around. And there are too many people like that need to be placed in our position, and we need to be placed in their position so we can do the opposite of what In other words, we need to be placed in the position where we're the ones telling them that they can't be who they are if they want to continue doing that to us. And it's one of those, I am going to get through to you, and if this is the only way, then so be it kind of thing. It's just, I've been trying to get through to so many people in so many ways, and now I'm just going to have to directly come out and say it. We have no freedoms if things keep going the way they are. We are literally stuck. Title 42 is too high. Or Title 32, you guys get the point. That's too high. The issues are too complex. They need to basically cut back on a lot of the protections. Keep some, but not every single one. Like, for instance, a lot of us have to swap. When we created our, like, for instance, I have a friend who started Facebook when she was just 18 years old, and she had to place her thing over 30 so she could keep in touch with her mom and the rest of her family members. So I don't think that if they want to make a separate app for different age groups, that is fine. But restricting the rest of us is not okay. Restricting everyone else is not okay. Spying on people, allowing third parties to sell our data in black markets, that's not okay. That's just not right. I don't believe in throwing so many restrictions at people. That is not the definition of America. Absolutely not. Restricting others. Censorship needs to go as well. I can't stress enough how messed up it is that everything, even something very simple, has to be censored. It's not exactly right. They should just categorize it for different age groups and just put a warning label. That's it. They shouldn't go ahead and just say, all right, this is unavailable in your area due to this, this, and this. A lot of old stuff that's actually good disappears that way. There are so many things that just disappear that way because of all of these censorships. And so many of those things need to be brought back as well, but brought back in the right way. I'm not talking about a reboot that nobody really, took any care in or reviewed the older material. Thus, it turns out to be garbage. I'm talking about a fair and honest one that actually links on the basis of the source material that it's based on. I've seen too many of them that just go for one aspect, and that is basically gross out humor. I mean, wicked puns and stupid jokes is okay, but not to the point where you have to be really sophisticated about how you go about rebooting a franchise, is what I'm saying. You have to be really careful about how you handle the reboot, because if it doesn't go towards the older material, or it doesn't seem authentic, in other words, then the fans of the old show are not going to be attracted to it. They're going to wish you never did it. And that is why they refer back to the original material. Which is why I say that no material should be restricted to different states, different countries, different continents. It feels wrong that way, especially if you were exposed to certain things that you grew up with and you just want to relook and see if it still catches your attention. But they're like, nope, it's unavailable in your area due to this, this, and this. Or actually, what's even worse is saying it's unavailable in your area and they don't even list a reason why. That's another reason that I'd say that if you're gonna disable something in certain areas, you have to list explicitly why. And they can't just be petty reasons like, oh, because this person doesn't, want this available in your country. It has to be legitimate reasons, like, say, like, I'd get it if, like, say, the company filed for bankruptcy that created a certain thing, or like that branch of that company is, we're gonna, like, say for instance, like, take THQ, for instance. They still have one branch, and that's THQ Nordic. Now, I don't know exactly where THQ Nordic is based from, but they should continue to remaster old titles and also make new ones that are available to everywhere around the world. Instead of leaving the fans hanging and leaving everyone wondering, well, what the heck is going on here? You know? You can't just post something on your thing saying that, oh, well, this still exists, but they're not currently making anything. That doesn't seem right to the people that really were hoping for some form of entertainment from that particular area. And it doesn't hurt to restart and regain assets. It doesn't hurt to create new ones either. It's not really fair for anyone to have to go through and say they want to play a certain game and there's no language option. It has to be in the default language, which can be very hard if you're a US citizen trying to play an old game where the dialogue is only, for example, in French or in Italian or Spanish, or, well, you get the idea. If there isn't a dialogue selection, then that can be very bad. Especially if you can't read that language either for different area settings, like say you're playing an RPG or a shooter. You know, you can't read what the button does because it's not within your language's handwriting. That is very wrong in so many ways. Especially when it makes it difficult when you're trying to study certain languages, but you need your translated language in order to help study it. That's very rough and very unhelpful. So I'm pushing for more help in any sort of regard of any sort of media, whether it's TV, movies, video games, even newspaper outlets or websites. I mean, come on. What is so wrong with trying to be a little more inclusive and a little more international, if you get my drift? I've been thinking about this subject for quite a while, just wasn't really sure how to bring it up. And I'll tell you what, things would be so much better if people would just be more inclusive. And if a lot of the changes that were made today got tweaked a little bit and reversed if they have to. In other words, if the Constitution went back to where they couldn't overturn anything that was written in there, it would actually be much better if that were the case. And we also, like I said before, need term limits for Supreme Court judges and members in Congress. Basically, it would be a lot more better, and everybody's lives would be a bit more easier if all of these goals were met. I know this was a little long, but it makes better sense this way. You gotta trust me on this. Nothing gets done without fighting for it, and nothing gets done without a long explanation. Until next time, I've been Riku Keyblade Master / Angel of the Dawn. Comment, rate, subscribe to become a Keyblade wielder. And stay awesome as usual. And if you care enough about these issues, then you would fight to help me and many others fix them.